All right. Let me just tweet some things out. All right. The Bottom Line Bombs on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Shady Rays. SGPN is teaming up with Shady Rays for Shady May. Get 50% off your Shady Rays using promo code SGPN and go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com for your chance to win $500. That's amazing. Well, welcome. With that being said, it's time to detonate some damn bombs. Welcome to the Bottom Line Bombs. I'm your host, CJ Sullivan, the man in the box. I'll never get tired of awful sound bites. Although that one's good. I borrowed the parents' one, Sean and Cream Dog's message board. I'll go around for it. Actually, I got to check out they have NFL. Starting off slow again. I ignore the notes. Each week we get notes. Start off the show fast, hard, concise. Tell them what's going to happen. I do not. I say I start off fast for like 30 seconds and then I fade away. But I am CJ Sullivan, the host of the Bottom Line Bombs, picks with bits for tobacco use only. Welcome to the draft letter grades and ice bomb. Hardwood, sun to snow. On today's show, I'll recap the draft weekend. We gave out draft bombs on last show, Wednesday. Every Monday and Wednesday, we're live here at noon Pacific. Welcome if you're joining on YouTube. We went 6-2 with our draft bombs. Not bad. Pretty good, actually. We'll recap some draft stuff, and then I'll give out more NBA and NHL bombs. So now that round 2 is upon us. Round 1 is finally all finished up everywhere. We'll recap some of that and give out some of the bombs. And then I will finish with a man in the box segment. Probably about Giannis, because that'd be fun. But let's get right to the draft recap. We got to hurry up. That's another thing. My shows take too long because I ramble a lot. So I'm just here, my brain, and I get this coffee. I get the venti iced coffee, no creamer, no sweetener with creamer. I'm still new to the whole Starbucks world. And this coffee ordering world. I'm kind of late in the game with it. And I started listening to some of my shows. You're supposed to do that too. Listen to your shows to get better. Like in stand up, you're supposed to listen to your sets. It's cringeworthy, but actually I do good with the podcast for some reason. The Bottom Line Bombs, Man in the Box. I don't mind listening to those because it puts me to sleep. I am my own ASMR. But I have noticed I'm a little more jittery or upbeat, obviously, with the coffee. Anyway. Not important. Let's get to the draft bomb. Yeah, so we went I love the letter grades. That's why if you're watching, you see my thumbnail there on YouTube. Draft letter grades. Absolutely. Why do we do letter grades? Like it's so funny that everyone just decides all right, Detroit gets a D. Baltimore C-. I don't know. Like if we all resort back to our grade school, letter grades are so ridiculous. How much schools that threw E in there? It was A, B, C, D, then F. We just skipped E. Which is weird to me. Oh, it was weird to me. Why do we skip? Because F for failure. Nothing else is for anything, you know. There's no other. Like, A doesn't stand for awesome. Or B for bold, I guess. C for cunt. I don't know. The point is, but F is known for failure. You got an F because you failed. So there's no E. I remember some schools that try to do E. It just doesn't feel right. Because E is a strong letter. It's probably the most important vowel there is. It's in all the words. Not all of them, but of the vowel. The vowels obviously are more important consonants since we're talking letters here, and we are. We're talking draft letters. But A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes Y. The vowels, they're like kind of elitist to the consonants. Not to do Nick Vatterot's alphabet bit, but you need a vowel. You want to make a word, you need a vowel. Okay, you can't have a word without a vowel. They know that. That's why they're jerks. They hire off their practices. And E is the king of the vowels, obviously. I mean, I would say E's in 70% of the letters. Words, I mean, the letters of the words. I'm making this up, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Go ahead and prove me wrong on that. You can't. Go ahead and add up all the words. Matter of fact, that's a good homework. So prove me wrong. I like when people say that. Prove me wrong, bro. You think, oh yeah, prove me wrong. What do you mean prove you wrong? Why do I have to do your homework? Why do I have to do your research? Because you're fucking running your mouth how you think E is in 70% of all the words. Anyway. It is. Let's give out grades. Tell you what, the Eagles, I know they're my team, but they got A's all around, and I have to agree. I gave them an A. They were in the Super Bowl, and they probably got the best player in the draft, Jalen Carter, who we gave out as a bomb. We gave out to go over 6.5 was his over under. We hit that because we knew he was going to fade because of all the rumors they're like spreading about him. ESPN loves spreading the rumor. Someone leaks information, then it gets out there, so people slide. They love people sliding. We'll get to that in a bit with Will Levis, but Warren, and he went to the same school as Warren Sapp, high school that is. Same thing happened with Warren Sapp, where all these drug things came up with him. Like, I don't care for shit if Warren Sapp's doing coke. I know he's better than Mike Mamula. Anyway, so the Eagles took him, and then they got Nolan Smith later, who also went to Georgia. Then they got a D-back from Georgia. Then they traded for DeAndre Swift from Georgia. And they're like, yeah, they're the Bird Dogs, which is kind of fun to say. Like, there's team, and that's not a bad. If you watch, I mean, listen, they used to not do that. The Eagles, they would. I mean, I don't want anyone that's not from the SEC or Clemson. I guess I'll give you Clemson in that first round. Just, I don't care. Blind your eyes, throw a dart. Georgia, Alabama. Let's go. Do you watch college football? They are clearly an NFL team down there. They're better than everyone by far. Just take everyone. Did you go to Georgia? Come on in. Everyone's praising Howie Roseman. He's doing great. It's hard as an Eagle fan to hate on him now because obviously, they almost won the Super Bowl last year and he's doing the whole thing with the roster and all. But I will say this, the draft itself, I'm not going to say it's pointless, but it doesn't mean as much as people think it does. Howie's missed a lot, especially with wide receivers. I will still never forgive him for taking Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson a couple years ago. It was absurd. It was fucking absurd for him to explain. He fits the system. Justin Jefferson's too tall for the system. Okay. I have to hate on Jalen Reagor. I didn't think Jalen Reagor would be that big of a bust, but I mean, like, it was just so obvious. Take fucking Justin Jefferson or T. Higgins or anyone but him. So now it's like the Eagles won 4 Super Bowls in a row, and I still won't forgive him. And then then they had to draft Devontae Smith just to make up for that when they could have got Micah Parsons, and well, whatever. That's a whole thing. Now you're nitpicking. But the point is, the draft isn't that important. If you look at it, Kansas City, Buffalo, the Rams, none of them have drafted an all-pro player since like 2017, like in 6 years. None of them. And they're the best teams. I mean, the Rams are bad now because they literally said F those picks. So maybe that's a bad example. But, the Bills and Chiefs are the 2 best teams in football along with the Bengals and the Eagles. There's a lot of ways to build your fucking roster. That's the thing. So you can be like, yeah, you can blow you can blow the Jalen Reagor pick and then sign AJ Brown. And then you think you're a genius. No, you just grabbed a guy for $100 million. Which, good for you. That's a good way to do it. I'm just saying this draft is completely overblown. It's a TV show. But we love it. We can't get enough of it. All the grades are coming in. Some people had bad. The Patriots and Niners with their kicker drafting was just amazing. The Patriots drafted a kicker and a punter back to back. What? That's Bill Belichick just being Bill Belichick. He's just an asshole. He's doing it as a flex because, and I kind of love it. He's just old and bored now. And he's like, yeah, only I can do this. This is a terrible way of draft. He does know it's bad. Yes, he values kickers, but to draft them is crazy. And he does it because only he can do it because he's unfireable because he's Bill Belichick. And he's so bored with the process. Let me see if I can get away with this. Of course he can. It was like when Louis C.K. Louis C.K. before he got ostracized and all that. But when he was really king of stand-up, and he's still, by the way, he's still great. His latest special is hilarious. Terrible person, but great comic. But he was like so bored with stand-up, I thought, because he was so good at it and he was so prolific. Like he did that monologue on Saturday Night Live about, kid rape and just whatever the hell it was about. And he knew it was gonna be controversial. He did it just because he was bored to see if he can get away with it, because he was so bored with it. That's what Belichick said. He's at that stage. So good for Belichick. He's hilarious. Punter and kicker. I mean, you know what? And Patriot fans deserve it. They're so obnoxious. And with all those wins after being losers, and the Patriot way, you deserve to get the Patriot way rubbed in your face now that Tom Brady's gone and Belichick is going to keep doing this bullshit. Get excited for draft day and you got a punter and a kicker back to back. The Niners, too. They didn't have a pick until the third round. Then they take a safety, and then they take a kicker from Michigan. Good for you. And that's just Shanahan. You're just flexing. Fuck these Niners too. Those whiny ass Niners. Anyway, this is the Bottom Line Bombs. I am CJ Sullivan. On today's show, let me get a quick ad read. I'll go over those draft day draft day dogs. The props that I gave out, some other draft observations, and then I'll give out NBA playoff bombs, NHL hockey bombs, and then we'll do a man in a box. But first, let me tell you about Shady Rays and Shady May. This is fun. Shady Rays is teaming up with SGPN for Shady May. Not only do you get amazing 50% off, but you also have a chance to win $500. We've been talking about Shady Rays, or sunglasses, if you don't know. They're covered from sun to the slopes, and that's what I talk about my NBA and NHL bombs. Sun to the slopes, hardwood to the snow, to the ice. They're great sunglasses, durable frames, clear optics, and they have the most insane protection of all of eyewear. Every pair of sunglasses is backed by their lost and broken replacements. That means if you lose or break a pair, even on day one, they will send you a brand new pair, and the question's asked. Wear your Shady Rays with confidence because they have your back long after you purchase them. So go to ShadyRays.com, use code SGPN for 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses. Then take your receipt to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/shady for your chance to win the $500 Shady May contest. So there it is. Let's get back now to the NFL draft recap. Shady Rays. You're going to be hearing a lot of that. I guess we're doing a full court press with the Shady Rays, Shady Mays situation. But like I said, I actually got a pair. I should be wearing them if I was a real company man. And they return them. No questions asked. Whatever. Your story is your story. I don't want to hear it. We don't need to hear it. Okay? I was on a boat. Listen, the guy owed me money and he snapped my glass. Listen, that's your story. Keep your Shady Ray story to yourself. Here's a new pair. We got to talk dog. We got to talk NFL draft dog props. That was the one we lost. So we went 6-2. We won Will Levis. No, we lost that actually because the quarterback ones. The special ones we won. We won under 18.5 ties by draft picks worn in the first round. That was easy. A lot of chains, a lot of open thing, just the ties just don't work. And glasses. Speaking of Shady Rays, we went under 8.5 glasses. That got dicey towards the end. A lot of glasses at the end. Sunglasses. I handicapped it like it was going to be like actual nerd glasses. No, sunglasses. But there's only 5, I believe. But it was getting dicey towards the end because there was a run of glasses. But we hit that. We hit under 8.5 glasses, under 8 ties. Bryce Young hugged his mom first. We hit that. We won Jalen Carter over 6.5. We won over wide receivers 3.5. That got dicey. There was none until like the 24th pick, wherever the hell it was. And then there was 4 in a row to hit it. Bink, 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 bink. I mean, bomb, 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 bomb. I was watching that on the live stream, SGPN, sweating that live. It was fun because it looked bad. And then people were just taking receivers like they wanted me to hit my bet. Like, why? Why are team like whatever? So we hit that. We hit running backs over. That was another one. Over 1.5. That hit quick as the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs 12th overall. that was something else. Bijan Robinson went number 8. Fun. He's just a fun pick. Atlanta took him 8. That was just like for fun. Let's have a fun guy. Who cares about value and line and all that? Let's have some of our fans could watch and be excited about. Even if it is a bad pick. It's not a bad pick. It's fun. Now, the Lions did a bad pick. At the same time, like I said, who knows what this draft even means? And people love doing the value. He was taken 12th overall. People didn't think he was going to go in the first round. There's like, you could have got him. They had like a later pick at 18. They took some linebacker, a Jack Campbell from Iowa. Another one. What are you doing? These are all the guys that get in the second round. But, you're just talking about what these Mel Kipers of the world are saying, where these values are. So if you like your guy, get your guy. Who gives a shit? That's why I don't hammer teams too bad for that. So the Lions, you get a nice B for bullshit. Oh, we should have took him later. Bullshit. Jesus Christ. There's fucking construction right behind me. And we got a soundproof wall in here, but it's like they're drilling through to come get me. So if you hear an absolute scream and agonizing pain later during this bomb on bombs, it's because this jackhammer got through the wall and drilled into my neck. Anyway, slow down, CJ Sullivan. Slow down. There's footage. I love when they show the footage of the war room of these NFL teams after they make their pick, and they all bro hug and high five, and they go nuts. Like they just fucking won the Super Bowl when they got their guy. They can't believe. First of all, Detroit, your guy would have been there all night. All night. So they're cheering still, and they're fucking going nuts, hugging each other, fist bump, jumping on the tables. And someone's going to be like, can you imagine being DeAndre Swift watching this and watching how all your bosses are reacting to drafting your replacement? You're like, oh, I guess I'm not really necessary here. And then the Lions traded him the next day to the Eagles, another Georgia guy. Bring him home, a Philly guy. Anyway. So the bet we did lose. So those are the ones we won. We went 6 wins. We lost 2. We lost the dog prop. How many dogs were they going to show? Over, under. 2, we had, hold on here. Jeez Louise. 2 dogs first round. I thought that was a lock. And I realized it was a tough day one bet. And the reason why and the number was sharp that I gave out 2. It went to 2.5. Because a lot of the players were there at the draft, and they're not going to have dogs, obviously. But there's occasionally shots to the living room. That's what we were banking on. And all we needed was one house to have it, and we'll have 2 dogs. And they wound up showing none. It was crazy. And we got a bad beat, I think, when they showed Lucas Van Ness, the Packers pick, the Iowa edge rusher. White guy, his living room was packed full of Iowans. How are there not by default 2 or 3 Labradors, something? There were so many whites and dog lovers there. I mean, that was a bad beat. I knew if Lucas Van Ness couldn't produce a dog, and they're fucking 30, I mean, it was just crazy in there. couple of dogs and the women back there. Just kidding. Actually, there's a lot of beautiful women in that fucking draft. Levis had a harem, for Christ's sakes. Jesus, what was he doing? He's a hillbilly pimp. I like that. But Lucas Van Ness's dad, a lot of people said that. Lucas Van Ness's girlfriend hugged his dad, not her dad, his dad, and his dad gave a little double tap to her tush, patted her bum twice, and Twitter did not let him get away with that one. So there was a few dogs back there. I did like their party though. Some kid tried to get in there and hug it. I don't know if he's a brother or cousin, and you just see an arm. Get the fuck out of the TV screen. This is about the player and good-looking women. That's what we want. We don't want some dork 16-year-old kid down there. And then just to troll me in my dog bet, ESPN at the end of the draft showed a montage of all the dogs, just the dogs that were shown. And not one of them were shown day one, but there was tons of them. Day 2 and 3. And I did break that down later. The reason why is because that second and third day draft party gets a little thinner when it comes to family and friends. They're like, because it's a long day to not get drafted in the first round and just sit there. Like, yeah, you want to come back tomorrow? Nah, you know what? I got some things. I was going to go to Trader Joe's and got some things I got to do. But tell you what, the dog, Hawkeye will stay with you. Hawkeye, what do you say, buddy? So it's just the player and the dog. So there's a lot of dogs back there. So like I said, they do like players to slip. It's it's a TV show. And ESPN got their will. We lost the quarterback prop bet. That was the other one. Over 4.5. And there was only 3 taken as Brandon Hooker. We thought Brandon Hooker was going to be the fourth one or fifth one. But Levis didn't get taken. That was the big story, the fun story of the draft. Will Levis, quarterback from Kentucky, slipped out the entire first round, which there was rumors, a Reddit rumor, though, that being, of him coming into the second overall pick. Almost first overall pick, and then he dropped out of the round. They showed him 80% of the time. They love showing people waiting in green room. And then that's all he was. He had his girlfriend around. The girlfriend was getting a little pissed. She's like, it was kind of, she became a meme. So I started to feel bad for Levis a little bit, obviously, what they're showing him, because he's obviously a victim of ESPN and all this shit, and teams not drafting him. Although he made his bed when he ate that banana with the peel on. What the fuck was he doing? And he puts mayo in his coffee. Well, what? That's why there was rumors when CJ Stroud was supposed to be slipping, even though he went number 2 overall to quarterback from Ohio State, because they said he failed the intelligence test, whatever the hell this NFL intelligence test is. I don't grade any intelligence test that grades highly on eating a banana with a peel on it. So that's my theory on that. So justice was served there, where Stroud was drafted ahead of Will Levis by a full round. But I started feeling bad for Levis just because they're showing the camera on him. I mean, it's not his fault, you know. He's not. It's the opposite. He didn't show up for day 2, and people were trying to call him out for that. You coward! Show up for the fuck you. Show up for day 2. You gonna come back tomorrow? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna come back tomorrow. ESPN. I don't think I want you to show me for 4 straight hours being passed over by every team in the league. Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. Should we do this again? Yeah, my girlfriend left me. Thanks, ESPN. No, I don't want to do this. People are comparing, like Dylan Brooks for the Grizzlies. He talks shit and then just wouldn't show up to the media afterwards. That was cowardly because he made his bed. He's the one to talk shit. Levis, yeah, he's cocky quarterback. I probably wouldn't like him, not, whatever, but he didn't ask for this, at least. He's like, if I'm going to be taking the first round, I'll show up. But but the ESPN's like, no, trust me, you'll be here. He did go full Bo Callahan, says Eric Acosta. Will Levis went full Bo Callahan, which is from the great movie The Draft with Kevin Costner, which Eric Acosta has a screening of every year. We hit that prop, by the way, too. That was the other prop bet we hit. That I went 6-2 with the NFL draft props, and one was over 5.5 trades in the first round, because they actually set a record with trades. And I think part of the reason is that movie, the Kevin Costner movie. because of course they're all going to watch that movie. And they all think they're fucking, making these incredible plans. Like they all think they're fighting a war anyway. So they think they're outflanking these GMs. So they want to wheel and deal. So yeah, Will Levis puts mayo on his coffee, eats a banana with a peel on. Other than that, he doesn't really deserve to have. I mean, he did become the villain. And I just love when I'm like, yeah, why don't you show up tomorrow? Yeah, no. How about I don't show up tomorrow? How about I go home and not be on your not be your story of what a failure I am? I know there's no failure in sports, Giannis says, but I actually was. So. And now he can be an undrafted free agent. He got drafted in the second round. Hooker went real late. Stetson Bennett went to the Rams. Good God. The Rams are just casting a TV show at this point. They're done with building a football team, which I kind of like. They're all just actors hired to play this reality show that is aged veterans. How do you draft an aged veteran already? He's already a washed up veteran, Stetson Bennett. And the Rams took him. Good for them. Whatever. He'll be fun. Now the news after the draft is all the undrafted free agents. What I said, the Eagles got this. Eagles get that cornerback, Revis, whatever his name, Rex, whatever the fuck his name is, from Alabama, transferred from LSU. Last year he was like a top 10 overall pick, mock draft at least. But I love the undrafted. But what I like about the undrafted free agent thing is now it's actually better for you. Like when they spin, that's how they spin it. You know what? You're better off not being drafted at this point. That's what the agent tells you. Come third day, 6th or 7th, when the draft party is just you, your dog, and the agent. And he's like, you know what? You trust me. Best thing that can happen to you is you not get picked. Now you could choose from any of the teams that didn't want you in the first place. So yeah, I'll call up all the teams that did not want to take you these last 3 days and see if we can run some sprints on their practice field this spring, whatever. How's that sound? Best thing that could ever happen. You don't want a team that wants you and picks you to show up to their camp. You want to just spring upon them, like in the parking lot, Willie Mays Hayes style. Best thing that could ever happen to you, an undrafted free agent. Anyway, that is our draft day bombs. Like we said, 6-2. Not bad. It sounds great. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Let's go. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk about now the NBA Round 2 and NHL Round 2 bombs, and then my man in the box segment. But first, let me talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. Should probably stop the fucking theme song. Oh, God, I'm all over the place. How long is this NFL song? Jesus. Where the hell is it? I don't even know where it is. I'm trying to talk to them about Underdog Fantasy. It's like in a Gata Davida, for crying out loud. I mean, who orchestrates that? Deep Purple? I know Deep Purple didn't do Inagata Davida. Iron Butterfly? Is that who did that? Anyway. I think if you're going to do a one-hit wonder, speaking of Inagata Davida, you might as well make that hit 18 minutes long. Get your bang for your buck and be the jerk of all jukebox requests. Anyway, Underdog Fantasies, who were brought to you. Best Ball Mania 4 is here. They're giving away $15 million in prizes. Are they even worth that much? More professional ad reads for me. I'm questioning the company and what they're worth. Anyway, I'm sure they got through insurance. Plenty of ways to win NBA, NHL, and MLB with their player prop parlays. Head over to UnderdogFantasy.com. Use promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo SGPN. And it's Kentucky Derby week. And the Notorious OTB brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Network for all your Triple Crown bets. Leave a review for the show wherever you get the podcast between now and Belmont Saturday, June 10th. You'll be entering a drawing to win a canvas print of the Wolf's one-of-a-kind Fallen Bob painting. It's post time. I got to have a fucking post time song, right?
Long cocks.
No, just long cocks. Just sexual innuendos all over this goddamn board. Kentucky Derby week. I'll get into that on Wednesday. I love Kentucky Derby. I love horse racing. I'm an old man. I like horse racing, boxing. All my references are from for sports in the 1920s. Sports that got us out of the Depression. Things like that. That's going to do it. Thank you, by the way, anyone who is watching on YouTube, including Eric Acosta with a fun comment there. Make sure you smash the subscribe button and like this video, and then that's going to do it. So let's get into it. Is that all the draft talk I wanted to do? Yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll get into some NBA talk. Now, this song I can get into. Fish. That's another long one. My God. That goes on for like 20 minutes. What? That's what Daniel Tosh likes to do, conductor of the NBA theme song. All right, let's get right into round two. Now round one is finally over with. Good Lord. How long was that round one? Yesterday was at Golden State, Sacramento, game 7, which, by the way, unpopular hot take, as they say. NBA game 7s are always terrible. They're terrible. Hockey game 7s are good. Because the same, because they're all the same. Games. Sometimes they're bad, but a lot of game 7s are always overrated. Because they're usually dead tired, so one team usually just falls out like they're just done. Like Sacramento yesterday, 40 points in a second. That was brutal. Whatever. I'll get into that in a second. But that was like 3 weeks long, that fucking round. Like Draymond Green's suspension seems like it was a month ago. That was game 3 of that series 4 games ago. Anyway, let's get into it. Denver, tonight there's 2 games, and tomorrow 2 games. I'll give you quick ones for tonight only because most people are listening to this too late. Denver and Denver Phoenix. The line is 4. What's the line here? 4 and 227. Series price 175 to Denver. They were underdogs, and now it's so funny. Everyone loves Phoenix in this series. One game happened where Denver played well, and they did. I like Denver. Denver doesn't really get much credit. People love blaming everything but giving them credit for why teams lose to them. It's the air. They get tired in the fourth quarter, that mile-high thin air, and they run out. Like Jokic, they don't understand what to do with a 7-foot white guy who passes the ball. Now the new thing is Phoenix has a math problem. That's all of a sudden Phoenix is out of date when it comes to playing basketball. They have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, 3 of the best players. You know, Chris Paul's old, for sure. Chris Paul is old. And Chris Paul, ironically, is the only one who takes 3-pointers. Booker and Durant don't take 3-pointers, even though they can hit them. So now there's all these articles about how no matter what Phoenix does, they're stupid just for shooting 2. But they're showing highlights. These guys have wide open dunks. Nope, should have kicked it out. Should have kicked it out for a 40-footer. And that's the NBA. They only took 5 3-pointers in the first half. They were like losing. They were shooting like 60% and losing. I think what happened, people just don't give Denver fucking credit for playing First of all, they never give Denver defensive credit ever. But they have good, guys that jump around, and they don't make it easy to get those wide open 3-pointers. They want you to take those 2-pointers. But I like them explaining like how Phoenix just doesn't understand modern basketball. You just don't get modern basketball. It's a carnival contest. 2 for $1. You sing out there, you just chuck it. That is basically what basketball is now. It's kind of gross. So let me get through all this. I want to do it quickly. I think Denver -4. Phoenix will bounce back. But I think the problem is with the thin air. So I'll lean into the thin air. Now they're saying, oh, well, Kevin Durant and Booker and these guys, they have no help off the bench. That's the So it's unfair to have they have no help off the bench because you traded your bench for Kevin Durant. That's how that works. Well, I didn't know I was coming into this. They weren't that until they traded for you, Durant, who just got a lifetime contract with Nike. How could that ever go wrong? You know what? We have a feeling you're going to live the rest of your life squeaky clean. Nothing bad. You're going to do nothing bad, and nothing bad's going to happen to you, KD. Lifetime contract. The funny thing about lifetime contracts is Kevin Durant and just anybody. Only like a certain few got it. It's not that like, okay, how's that feel to get paid for the next 50 years or whatever it's going to be for your living? That's great. Are you going to be around that long, Nike? Like, I know you're a huge company now, but like, companies go down. Fucking Twitter's about to fall apart. Like Twitter's Nike. Anyway, well, we all know our opinions on Nike. The amazing story that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon told about how they threw it all. They risked it all by giving their shoe to a rookie. A rookie. But I love those kinds of lifetime contracts. As long as you're alive. Yeah, how about as long as you're alive, Nike? You're a fucking sneaker company that depends on coolness to survive. Yeah, those things last forever. My buddy Sean Flannery, who I do the Blackout Diaries with, another great drinking story podcast you can subscribe to everywhere pods are told. That was his theory on cryogenics. You know, those things where they say, we'll freeze you, like Ted Williams when they froze his head. So you don't die, we'll freeze you, and then we'll thaw you out 200 years from now when they cure that disease. What do you say? Like, yeah, you know what? I trust. You don't trust us? No, I trust science. I believe in 200 years, science will have a cure for whatever, cancer, whatever the hell it is. You know, I believe eventually, yeah, that'll be fine. But I don't believe you will be around 200 years from now. Who's going to fucking pay rent? I mean, what? You're in a mini mall right now. You're in a strip mall. This fucking closet. These things will melt out as soon as you miss payment. Anyway. That being said, we're going to give out Denver -4 tonight. Quick bomb. The other game is Philly-Boston. If you see, I got my Sixers hat on tonight. That line is 10 because Joel Embiid is doubtful with an injury. Now, the NBA is different than football. When they say doubtful in football, they're not playing. In basketball, they're like, I doubt it. But they like it's a rumor. Doc, what do you say? Kind of doubt. I don't know. I doubt he'll play. And then they want to play him. I don't think Embiid will play, but like he's done that like 5 times this year where they list him as doubtful and then he just plays. Hey, never a doubt, right? Now I had some doubts, but he wound up playing. Like the NBA is pretty shady when it comes to this stuff. That said, even without Embiid, 10 points is a lot. And the Celtics do own the Sixers. I'm going to admit that. But you have James Harden. Oh my! Is there anything more unrelatable than the NBA and then these NBA players? And I get it; they're all mega million corporations walking around. There was video of Harden slapping a guy outside of a Vegas hotel. Whatever that story is, who cares? But I just like them going to Vegas on their off days. They're just private jetting to Vegas. What, I have 4 hours off? I might as well go to fucking Vegas, get a stripper and some love real quick and get into a fight. Then I'll be back for practice in the morning. These guys are fucking nuts. So anyway, we're going to go Philly +10. Give out that bomb. In a series bet, I do like the Celtics should win the series, especially if Embiid's not healthy. But these prices are pretty disrespectful. Philly in 6 +875 is insane. But we're going to give out over 5.5 games. That just means Philly or Boston has to win 2 games. Philly has to win 2 games. -125. Bomb that. That's that series, man. That's tonight's NBA action. But let's get to the real basketball series, and that is Lakers versus Golden State. like I said, Golden State had that Game 7 win yesterday. Steph Curry scored 50 points. You know what's funny about that game is that apparently Curry, usually reserved, gave this fired up speech that they said he's going to build to his legend, like this crazy speech about coming into Game 7 and their legacy and all this shit. And everyone went nuts. And then everyone on Golden State yesterday was terrible, except for Curry. That's why I love great speech. And then they're all awful. Klay Thompson's throwing it off the fucking backboard. I mean, Looney was good with rebounds, but that's it. Curry was the only one who played, and that was enough. They won. Good for them. So this is two teams I wanted to fade of Golden State and the Lakers. I really just starting to dislike them both. And I think I have to finally give in and realize these Lakers are going to the conference finals. At the very least, they're winning the series. I'm going to give that out right now. Lakers plus 130 in the series, bomb it. They're going to beat Golden State. So I think Golden State wants to. They don't want to play. But they're so fucking annoying. And they're both sides. Both sides are annoying. There are bad people on both sides. The opposite of Trump's quote. The worst thing Dylan Brooks did, and everyone hates Dylan Brooks, he's the villain. And I get it. I think he's fun as a villain for the quotes. It sucks that he didn't report to the media afterwards and he just left. But I get, whatever. That's the punk move. And yeah, he's hateable. And they need a villain. But the worst thing I think Dylan Brooks did, besides talking trash, not reporting to the media, all that stuff, I don't care about all that. The worst thing he did was give LeBron James and obnoxious Laker fans unlimited ammunition for their fucking corniness. LeBron is so corny. And there's nothing we can say to him because he's the best player. He's the king. And Dylan Brooks set up for a T for him. Especially in the NBA. You can't talk shit about defense because in the NBA because they're going to have fouls. You're going to fly by. There's nothing. No one can stop anybody. And LeBron, of course, they killed him. They won by 40. So he had that line. You said you wanted 40, you got 40, which LeBron didn't come up with himself. Someone gave it to him before the press conference. Then he tweeted out this thing. LeBron couldn't wait to tweet. He does these vague fucking tweets. He's so old, man. He's such a dad, which is great. But he tweeted out, unlike you, little, and some red emoji. I'm a grown-ass man. Big shoes to fill. Grown-ass pants. Probably hustled with your pops. Go ask your parents. It's apparent you're staring at a legend. What are you writing? He's writing a fucking corny ball haiku. Who put a few little punks in their place before, trying to eat without saying they grace before. What? I gotta say that again. Oh my God. You are so ridiculous.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Unlike you, little man, I'm a grown-ass man. Big shoes to fill, grown-ass pants. Probably hustle with your pops. You don't know his pops, LeBron. Go ask your parents. That's an old man thing to say. Go ask your parents. What? Parents? It's apparent you're staring at a legend. You put a few little punks in a place before, trying to eat without saying they grace before.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Oh, and people are like, go off, King. That's what the comments are. King, go off, King. He's so fucking corny. And now we have to face this for another 2 weeks. And I'll say the Warriors are no more. I mean, they're just as annoying. Draymond Green, who you used to like now, but he's so ridiculous too. He's the best at just doing this shit and thinking we just forgot about how much detriment he is to a team. Kicks a bonus, gets suspended, and he comes, yep, told you. This is what he said after they beat Sacramento. This is Draymond Green, Golden State. Stop trying to turn the page on us so fast. Stop trying to turn the page on Bron so fast. We get caught up on what's the next thing, and then we don't appreciate the current. That's great, Draymond Green. If anybody in the fucking world was trying to turn the page on you or LeBron James, this is all the media wants is Lakers Golden State. They're acting like this is a rivalry. You guys played in a play-in game once. But that's the NBA. It's LeBron versus the Warriors. It's not even the Lakers. It's LeBron versus. Who is trying to turn the page on LeBron and go and say, you are their moneymakers? You're the only ones people know. You think they were rooting for Sacramento, Memphis? Well, I'm getting upset. I'm in a box. This is my man in a box shit. Eric Acosta says LeBron sounds like an old man frustrated. Some kids never heard of Seinfeld. Go ask your parents. It's true. Go YouTube it. Go YouTube that, son. Go ask your parents what I used to do for in Cleveland one of those years. This is Draymond Green speaking to reporters. Then you get to the next thing and looking back like, I wish we still had this. I wish we could still see this. For me and our guys, we're going to appreciate that every step of the way. No one is looking past. No reporter is trying to write a story about Sabonis and Malik Monk. Trust me. How can people say that too? Trust me. No, I don't trust you. Anyone says trust me, I don't trust. But yeah, no, this is what we want. The documentary. You're watching these highlights, even with like the Dylan Brooks and LeBron thing. It's like this documentary is already being made. It's LeBron doc, and then the montage of him taking him to the hole, and the ledge. Like, it's disgusting. It really is. I mean, whatever. It's going to be great. It'll be fun. It'll be a fun TV show, and that's what the NBA wants. I got to skip ahead. This is going too slow already. But we're going to give out. The game is tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. We'll give out Lakers +4 in that game, and we're going to take them into series. But as much as I hate it, especially living in LA, these obnoxious Laker fans can't believe. I mean, they can't comprehend that they won't go to the finals and win championships. They don't understand how fucking lucky they are. And I'm finally giving into it. To get Memphis to not play the Nuggets because Minnesota couldn't score in that play-in game for like 20 minutes. They should have lost that game. Then they would have been swept by the Nuggets. Not swept, but they would have lost the Nuggets. But whatever. It is what it is. This is a TV show. Why fight it? That's what I realized with the NBA. And it's a TV show. Like people are like, yeah, it's fixed. You know, blah, blah. Well, you can complain about it, or you could get the script and try to get the script leaked to you, M. Night Shyamalan style, and fucking get it out there. So the script is in. Lakers, Sacramento. It's going 7 games. We're getting all of it. So we'll take the Lakers +1, and LeBron, it's going to the conference finals. The other game is Knicks 6.5 versus Miami tomorrow. That's another one. Both these series, Lakers, Golden State, Knicks, Miami, the way it's set up, the way they script is set up is hilarious. Because the NBA, they usually make sure the best team wins. That's why it's best of 7. They hate upsets for that because they want their stars being out there. But they also, at the same time, have some of these they don't reseed because they want it to be bracket style because they think, hey, that's what they like, brackets. They like March Madness. Yeah, when there's 64 teams. Not 16. No one wants a 16-team bracket. We're not trying to figure out our favorite Halloween candy here. So the Knicks are playing Miami, and the Lakers are playing Golden State, and they're all 5, 6, 7, 8 seeds. They're all playing each other. So they're all fortunate. Jimmy Butler's on a insane Jimmy Butler tear. He's the best. Jimmy Butler's one of those crazy dudes on the train that you just fucking, it's best to ignore. Don't engage. He screams shit. Yep, just let him be. After they beat the Sixers last year, and he was running out in the hallway. He goes, "You took Tobias Harris over me. Tobias Harris over me." No, it's not really what happened, Jimmy. But we don't want to disrupt you. Okay, it was Ben Simmons they took over you. But hey. Your facts are your facts. We're not getting in whatever your reality is your reality. So he hurt his ankle. They beat the Knicks yesterday. Thank God, too. Because I hate these Knicks fans just as much. The New York celebrities, my God. With Ben Stiller and Pete Davidson on top of Jon Stewart's shoulders and Chris Rock. They're all good guys. They're all good celebrities, but like they're the way they want them to be the Lakers so bad is just so like they're just not relevant. So I need them. I need them personally to lose. But they're going to win game 2 because Jimmy Butler really rolled his ankle. And the line's 6.5, which kind of says they don't think he's going to play. If I was Miami, I just send him just get him out of New York. Send him to Miami for the rest of the series. But if Jimmy Butler wants to fucking play, then Jimmy Butler wants to play. You can't stop him. That's another thing with the Sixers. I'm rocking my Sixers hat here. When they didn't sign Jimmy Butler and he went to Miami, and they're like, yeah, see, that's what you get, Philly. You deserve it. Jimmy Butler you let him go to Miami. Philly didn't let him go anywhere. Jimmy Butler goes where he wants to go. You tell him not to go to Miami. He doesn't listen to anybody except for Mark Wahlberg, apparently. Everybody fucking humiliated the entire Minnesota team as a member of the Minnesota. Demanded a trade. Yeah, if he's going to Miami, that's it. Jimmy Butler decides to go to Miami. Hell, he can go there tonight. There's no stopping him. Guess he's not playing game 2. Why? Because Butler said he was going to Miami. He had business to take care of. So that's fun. The NBA playoffs is basically what happens if who stays healthy. That's what you see with Milwaukee, who lost to Miami in 5 games in the first round with an amazing choke job, blowing 15-point fourth quarter leads on last couple games. That's where you had the famous Giannis quote of "There is no failure in sports." I'll save that for Man in the Box. To be honest with you, I'll lead up to that. But all right, Knicks minus 6.5 because I have to go through these hockey. I mean, let me give these hockeys out real quick. Then I'll go to the Man in the Box about Giannis. They do some NHL. I don't have a hockey. I still haven't have a hockey song. I do a golf swing and there's a sword. I think I did for it. But yeah, those are the 2 basketball bombs. Just to recap it, it's Denver -4, Philly +10, Lakers +4, Knicks -6.5, and a couple series bets. Those are 4 good bombs. Hockey, we have a game 7 tonight. Like I said, game 7 hockey is usually pretty good. Devils Rangers tonight. That's an obnoxious game of North Jersey and New York hockey fan. They're a pretty obnoxious group as well. Take the under 5.5 there. I'll bomb that. I don't know who's going to win. They're all coin flips, but that rookie goalie Schmidt is pretty good. Yesterday Boston lost game 7 at home to Florida. That's fun. The President's Cup. They're the best record of all time in hockey. Then you knew guaranteed. We gave out Florida as a series play. You just knew they were going to lose. That happens every year. I will say they got hosed in game 6. There was a play in game 6 where they scored to take the lead. And then now they have this replay. Replay is kind of ruined. The retroactive replay is ruining everything. And in hockey, you can see if that guy's toe was offsides. This one they called a hand pass because the guy was picking up his stick and his fucking finger like grazed the puck. And then the other guy took the puck around. He didn't like pass it. He just nipped it. And then they overturned it. It was insane. Hand pass. Yeah, it's a big glove touch. Whatever. It's hard to argue, get upset over anything hockey because everything is nonsense in hockey. The way the pucks bounce around and shit. It's just, just the way it is. But our dog system from round 1, I'll give out these 2 plays real quick. That went 7-1 plus 8 units. Just a quick update of it. What you do is game 1, hockey's so absurd. Here's the system. Hockey's so absurd. Teams rarely go up 2-0. It's always 1-1. It always splits 1-1. Usually. It went 7-1 the first round. So now a new slate. What you do is you play the underdog at plus money. If it wins, great. You're done betting that series. Or at least those first 2 games. And if it loses, you come right back and bet them game 2, and at plus money, you get a profit. So we have Seattle Kraken. They're playing Dallas. They're at plus 144. We'll give out that bomb. And Florida Panthers, who beat Boston, are plus 134. God, got a thing in my throat. They're playing Toronto. I'll give that out 134. There's no way Toronto is winning both games. Toronto can't believe they're in the second round. They've waited 19 years to get to the second round. And the Seattle Kraken, my God, they're hilarious. I love it all the time. These franchise expansion teams come in hockey and immediately dominate. It just shows you what ridiculous hockey is. But that's why I love it. I like how comical it is. So yeah, we'll blast through that just because we want to get to. I want to get to Giannis, and this show is getting a little long already. God damn it, 55 minutes. I gotta cut these things down. So let me recap then. Seattle plus 144, bomb it. Florida plus 134, bomb it. Rangers Devils tonight under 5.5, bomb it. That's 3 ice bombs and 4 hardwood bombs. That's 7 bombs. A lot of bombs. Now let's lock it in. Welcome to the Man in the Box. I caught myself yelling earlier today in the show. That's my man. That's how the Man in the Box became organically. The first Bottom Line Bomb episode, I was yelling about Mike Vrabel, I remember. And I was just yelling in this box. There's no one else in here. It's just me. I'm producing the show, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's why I'm so bad with the soundboard. And I'm like, I'm just screaming in a box. What am I doing? Why am I so angry about Mike Vrabel? And this is how I'm going to die. I'm living and die in this fucking box, ranting. Shout out to Andy Rooney, the original Man in the Box. I said I picked up an Andy Rooney book when I was in Springfield, Missouri for $1, very Andy Rooney-esque. And I was reading it. It's just old shit from the 70s and 80s, and they're hilarious. But he was the original Man in the Box. If there's ever going to be one of those like SNL movies about the Man in the Box, that's me, which it's in the works. Andy Rooney will be that like spiritual dad of mine or mentor that I look up to, and he'll do funny rants. People make fun of Andy. We made fun of Andy. It's funny when you make an Andy Rooney reference. I was talking about this earlier too, because people in my generation, we barely know Andy Rooney, and that's who I'm talking to. It's like a 3-year window I'm looking at of people that know Andy Rooney, and they only know the old Andy Rooney. I mean, I love Andy Rooney's like one of those guys who was always old. I have his eyebrows too. That's how in the box I am of Andy Rooney. So it's easy to make fun of Andy Rooney because he's a cranky old man complaining about buttons and shit. But like we really caught him on the back nine of his life and career. But he would do like cranky old shit in the 70s, 80s, and it was funny. He's a good writer. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want an Andy Rooney, I think some Andy Rooney drops, or at least that fucking 60-minute talk. Then we were saying how funny it would have been to be on 60 Minutes. Nick Vatterott was saying this. I need a cough button too. I don't even have a cough button here. I have a thing in my throat. I probably do have a cough button. I just have to look for it. But like being on 60 Minutes, like Leslie Stahl, where are you going, Leslie? Oh, I have to go to Afghanistan and cover this war. Someone crossed the line and someone blew up in a landmine. I want to be on a minefield in Afghanistan covering the war. How about you, Andy? Oh, I'll be back here in the office. I'm writing a thing about socks. So while you're over there, can you see what kind of socks the Afghanistan kids are wearing? Because I'm doing a thing about socks. Have fun in the war. He got a sweet gig is what I'm trying to say. Trying to stay in the box. All right, let's get to Giannis. So that was the soundbite that changed the world. The Milwaukee Bucks lost to the Miami Heat in 5 games. Not only were they the 1 seed, but they were the favorite to win the championship, and they choked. Granted, Giannis didn't even play in 2 of those games, and he was hurt in that first game. But they still choked because they blew 15-point fourth quarter leads in games 5 and 4, and it was whatever, a failure, if you will. So during the press conference, that's what the reporter asked him. Goes, you think your season's a failure? And Giannis went on this whole thing that went viral about how there is no failure in sports. just steps towards success. You asked me this last year, and everyone jumped. People threw sides with this. And it was funny. I mean, whatever. It had nice intentions. It was a beautiful speech, but it also proved, yeah, Giannis, that's just what we tell kids when we say there's no failure in sports. There's failure in sports. That's why we keep score. There's wins and there's losses. You know how we tell kids things like, you can be anything you want. We're lying. They can't be. And we tell them there's no failure in sports. It's just lessons for a future victory. We're lying. No, there's a failure. Ask your bookie if there's I lost the bet. There's no failure. I just learned a lesson for the no one, right? So you don't need my money. Oh, you do need my money? There's a loss. And then people are ripping on the reporter, Mark Cuban. Fucking Mark Cuban, these assholes. They love ripping on the media. This reporter who asked him that, and granted, I mean, and I'll give Giannis some credit. He's obviously frustrated. The season just ended. So, he's going to say things out of emotion and frustration. So I give him a pass. I don't even care that he said all that. Like, whatever. Like, people are going nuts about it. There is failure. That's not what he's... Relax. Who gives a shit? But then they're saying that reporter's trying to do a gotcha. The reporter, report him his entire career and life, Yeah, you're not a failure as a person. Jesus Christ. Does everything have to be spelled out like a child? No, but yes, you failed your disappointment. You want to say that? But whatever. So this reporter's getting bad. So Mark Cuban's like, that's why these reporters are going to be replaced by Chat GPT. People love throwing Chat GPT around to dismiss people's jobs. Your reporters are going to be replaced by Chat GPT, which, by the way, just steals shit that were written by other reporters. That's what I say, too, with artists and music, too. I love that. What if there's a song? Now they can just Chat GPT just replace musicians. Yeah, by stealing other musicians' work. It's not like they're creating anything. That's cool too, though. We're gonna have robot artists. That's good for life. Mafia. Good. Mafia will reunite. How about those Leafs? We'll get into I talked about those Leafs. They're gonna split, of course, with Florida. Congratulations for Toronto for making the second round for the first time in 19 years. And for having Boston lose. What a great day for Toronto fans. That was the only thing I was happy about Boston losing was happy about Toronto, whatever. But yes. Anyway, where was I? Giannis and no failure. So great. So now there's have to be think pieces about this, and people are like complaining, like Barkley and like how we tell our kids and life lessons, and like Anna Gasteyer tweet, yes, this times 1,000. No times 1,000. And I'll give Giannis credit for this. He didn't bring up his salary. Usually, when an athlete is frustrated, he did have even though it was wrong and misguided by saying there's no failure in sports because 1,000 times there is, he did do a thoughtful response and took his time, even though he wanted to kill that reporter who he's obviously friends with. Like, do you get a promotion every year? No, you don't. Right, because that's unsustainable. Because I'm in a fucking horrible business. I'm in a newspaper reporting business. We're a failure. Our whole business is a failure. You make $200 million. So I can't believe Giannis didn't bring up his salary because I quite frankly, I would have. It's an asshole move once you do that, and you're ruining a lot of relationships with your sponsors and your kids, with the kids and all that. When you say, I make $200 million. What do you make to write for the Milwaukee Journal? Who's the failure? I'm a failure? I'm going to go home to a mansion full of Greek prostitutes. No, he's not. Although it is funny, too, Giannis is obviously European, coming over from Greek. What? How do I speak? How do I speak? But they come over and they can't believe American culture too. Like, what? Stop taking everything so seriously. I want to go have some wine and enjoy life. Why don't you people enjoy life? Because we're shooting each other. Giannis, Jesus. You either win, you fail, or you shoot somebody. Shoot somebody. Anyway. So that's pretty much my take on Giannis. I don't mind what Giannis said. It was kind of hilarious. But that's something we tell kids. It's not something we tell adults. And we don't believe it. We don't believe that there's no such thing as a failure. Just steps to success. That's just something we tell kids until they learn the realities of life. And then hopefully we'll be dead by then. So Michael Jordan failed every time? No, Michael Jordan didn't fail every time. But also, Michael Jordan never lost as the 1 seed to an 8 seed by winning only 1 game. That never also happened. And if he ever did, he would come back and probably murder Jimmy Butler. That's what Jordan would have done. I think in a game of gin rummy or something like that, or on the golf course. But he wouldn't have let that sit. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what time are we looking at here? Good God, 1 hour and 5 minutes. Man in a box, CJ Sullivan, what are you doing? They keep telling me to keep this show under 45, and I'm not even coming close to it. Why? Because my mind goes crazy, and I just veers off. Laughter from Mafia will reunite. Thank you for everyone. I gotta end the show. Thank you for everyone who joined us on YouTube. Make sure to like it and subscribe to the YouTube page of the Bottom Line Bombs. And if you're listening to the podcast, subscribe to that Spotify, iTunes, wherever the pods are told. You know how that fucking thing works. It took me a while. I didn't curse too much. Usually I curse out of nowhere. Like right there, I cursed out of nowhere for no reason. For point of emphasis. There's no need for it. So yeah, subscribe, give 5-star reviews. I've been getting some not bad reviews. I've been getting good reviews. If you write a good review, by the way, I'm gonna have a contest where I give out a Man in the Box shirt to a lucky winner. I get comments on YouTube. See, that's the thing with these I make these Man in the Box videos to promote the show, and then I throw them out there on YouTube and TikTok and all that shit. You gotta play the game. Play the algorithm game and try to get it out there. And which I hate, obviously, because I don't know how to edit and do things like younger people do because they're good at it. But you can't complain about it. You just gotta, adapt or die, as I say. But what I can complain about is I hate that now I get comments. I don't care what your public comments are. One was about the kids on planes, of course. I knew that I was gonna get some. Like, it's always the childless and lecture. I love saying childless like it's a monk book or whatever. I mean, good God. The childless. Anyway, there's all kinds of comments on there. They're all negative. And they're like but one was funny. One goes, if you're gonna talk about something on a podcast, you have to know what you're talking about. You don't. LOL. I like when they LOL their own comments. But also, what? You do? Who told you that? Who told you people have to know what they're talking about on a podcast? Have you listened to a podcast before? That's not a requirement. But I wanted to comment back. Yeah. And if you're going to comment on YouTube, you have to be helpful. That's like saying that. Well, who told you? What are you talking about? Or you have to get the joke, which they obviously don't either. But you can't. Once you get in that fucking world, that rabbit hole of engaging these maniacs on YouTube. I mean, people that comment on YouTube. Well, I mean, go for it. Comment on YouTube. Whatever. I don't care. Do it. Don't do it. It doesn't matter. I'm just a man in a box. Thank you for everyone who joined me. That's going to be the show. Like again, we're back Wednesday, noon Pacific. Every Monday, Wednesday, noon Pacific. We do scribes. We're going to have some winners and give out more playoff bombs. That's going to be it. Thank you and goodbye. Need better songs on here.